Hello everyone, I am RedBeast13 and I'm the video editor for everything here at Abridgiplex. Now, I don't normally do the whole behind the scenes thing, but while I was editing the Ranma movie, I noticed that I had sent over 80 clips to After Effects. That is well above the usual limit, even for the most extensive episodes I work on. So, as a part of the special treat that is the 4th of July events, we thought we'd be adding to my editing workload to bring you a look at the VFX for Ranma 1/2 and prevent me from getting any sleep for the foreseeable future. Now, I'm only going to be talking about my method for editing and only for VFX for two reasons. One, there are plenty of abridgers out there who do behind the scenes on the editing required for an episode, such as Kaiser Neko or Prof. Krunk. Two, I really want to talk about VFX. I find that they provide a unique challenge and that they can really push a joke further. Hell, half the time when we write a VFX joke, I don't know how I'm going to do it until I bring it into After Effects. It's always a fun challenge that excites me and it's something that I want to share. Right, so let's not waste any time and jump right in. So we're going to start with this effect here of Hapusai going after panties, a phrase I've gotten far too used to saying. We want him to be repeatedly falling out of frame, but in the original footage, he just sort of floats in place. So what we do is we take a still frame of the scene without Hapusai. We're going to refer to this as the clean plate. We'll then place another layer of video of Hapusai jumping, but when he reaches the highest point in his jump, we'll mask him out with a pen tool. Once we have this, we'll keyframe him falling out of frame and apply a motion blur to give it the illusion of speed and impact. Masking is the #1 thing I do in editing, so you'll be seeing that a lot here. Next up is an effect that wasn't originally planned, but someone pitched it, so I rolled with it. We get a shot of the roof where Hapusai would have landed, so it was offered that he would leave an imprint of some kind. So, since I have the Action Essentials pack available on Video Copilot, I used a crack texture and changed the blend mode to Vivid Light. I then duplicated our video track and masked out Hapusai on the rope to sell the illusion that the crack is under him. It is possible to animate masks, so I just needed to play with the keyframes. But that's nothing. Hold on to your butts, cause this next effect is going to be a doozy. Hapusai is talking to Ranma in this shot here, but we changed the timing in their conversation. This wouldn't normally be an issue, I do this all the time, but the clouds in the original footage are constantly moving. It's giving me away. I need to cut out the characters and replace the sky. Now technically this could be done in Premiere, but I feel as though I have more control in After Effects. To top this effect off, I added a stroke. As a matter of fact, I also need to adjust things in this shot so that Hapusai would be facing Ranma. All I need to do here was to take a still of when Hapusai was facing Ranma, scale him up a bit, and then place him over himself. The finishing touches on this were to mask out any other protrusions. Situations like this where I needed a VFX on something that wasn't originally in the script, or what I like to call unscripted edits. I've never done this level of scene removal before, so this did take me a while to get a hold of. I would later be doing this again during the scene where Ranma is running from literally everyone he's ever met. Man, I created this work for myself. Next up, we have this sign to let Ryoga know that he is once again going the wrong way. Poor guy. So I went into the clip and motion tracked it. Once I have my motion tracking data, I can apply it to a null object, which is essentially an invisible layer with nothing on it. I can then parent the sign and text to the null object so that the motion tracking data will apply to both those layers as well. To finish off this effect, I needed to duplicate the original footage and just mask out Ryoga's body whenever he was in front of the sign. Can't really have an object in the background obstructing something in the foreground. Now, this was the first instance where I needed to really change a character's face or anything like that. I needed Ranma to look up at Akane, but I wasn't sure how to do it. I ended up deciding that he would blink and his eyes would be looking up at her. To do this, I masked out Ranma's eyes so I could replace them with my own custom eyes. I then create a solid the same color as Ranma's skin tone. I then used the keyframes to animate it coming up and down as if he was actually blinking. I then created a white solid to act as his new eyes and painted 2 black dots as his pupils. Now to beat the shit out of Kuno. I wanted Kuno to re-enter the atmosphere like a meteor of upper-class privilege. I threw in a lens flare to simulate him falling from orbit, which was easy enough thanks to the plug-in optical flare, once again by Video Copilot, picking up on my subtle hints yet. I then masked out the doorway to the Cat Cafe and brought in a still of Kuno, and the cherry on top was the dust elements and explosions from Action Essentials. That really allowed me to sell the impact. Later on I'd be doing another newer effect for me, masking people into shots they weren't originally in. Now this is just purely masking characters and applying strokes to their outlines. Now I like to mask characters out by hand in order to get that extra detail, but it does take longer. Thankfully, we aren't dealing with heavily detailed silhouettes here. Not hard, but it did require some patience. Now, my editing isn't all adding in explosions or drastically harming the cast. Sometimes I need to fix instances where the animators just plain fucked up. It seems as though the animators forgot that they were drawing an elephant, and that elephants are known for having giant torsos. Simple enough to fix. I just went in and applied a solid. I would have to do this again here for Sones, seeing as the animators forgot to add color to the bottom part of his chest for some reason, as well as add back his mustache. Lastly, for part 1, I needed to change the kanji on the boat they were on. Storm Improv 12th Night, but on the original kanji, you can clearly see that it refers to itself as the 5th. This was actually really difficult for me to do because this didn't require my After Effects skills, it required Photoshop. Now my Photoshop skills are kinda rusty, but I do know how to use the clone tool. I can use the clone tool to take samples of the scene and repaint over what I want to hide, that being taking samples of the boat and painting it over the kanji. I then write out my own text and fade it a bit to make it look a little aged, but I also adjusted it so it could look carved in. Lastly, I motion tracked the boat and parented the fix to the data. And that'll be it for part 1, everybody. Now, like I said, there were a lot more effects, especially in part 1, but I didn't want to weigh down this video with what would basically come down to me repeating myself a whole lot. I just wanted to touch on the harder effects that I really never got a chance to try before. But don't worry, there's plenty more to talk about in part 2.
He's overreacting. The squirrel doesn't bring misfortune.
The ash is eaten by wolves!
If I'm lying, may lightning strike me down. I regret nothing.
Hey, Kaz, can you voice every single female character in existence? Yeah, that'd be
And she was like, boy, can I!
she was